Operators of anti-aircraft FPV drones of the 414th Magyars Birds, separate brigade of strike unmanned aerial systems, were able to hit a Russian reconnaissance and strike UAV Forpost, which carries the KAB-20. In the near future, the UAV will not be combat ready, if it can be repaired at all. Magyars Birds said in its Telegram channels, an Easter egg, according to the sharp nose of missiles and KAB-20 Forpost. The price is $7 million. The Easter egg has arrived. The damage to the bark was inflicted by the Topota PM Team on the 20th week in the sky over Ukraine at 15:24 p.m. The radar was recovered, so that the stricken one was able to glide behind the curb. It would be wonderful to add an exotic carcass to our collection. If you don't carry a caravan of air bombs, in the near future no egg will be amputated over the Ukrainian land. The sky has gone too far. Recently, Russia has announced the development of a new version of the Forpost medium-altitude reconnaissance drone with an integrated radar station. The Forpost UAV continues to be modernized and has gained new capabilities. The developers have created a version of the drone with a radar. Its task is to carry out radar control over ground and surface objects, recognize moving targets and issue targeting instructions for units of the Russian armed forces, including the Navy, said spokeswoman Ekaterina Zgirovskaya, representative of the Ural Civil Aviation Plant. It is very likely that the starting point for the modernization of the Russian drone was the latest version of the Forpost-R aircraft, which is capable of carrying a payload weighing up to 100 kilograms. These parameters allow it to carry a small-sized radar.
Ukrainian intelligence intercepted a conversation between Russian servicemen. In a radio interception, commander of the Russian army shouts to his subordinates. According to Kiev Post media outlet, the recording reveals a complete breakdown in command, unauthorized decision-making and a lack of coordination between military groups. "Why the fuck aren't you flying yet? You fuckwit. A shitload of time has already passed. The guys need help," the Russian officer yells in response to a delay in mission execution. The Russian soldier demands the immediate deployment of a unit which, according to him, is slowing down the combat operation and putting the lives of fellow troops at risk. "You fuck. Give me the men and means before the task. They're making decisions on their own because you can't set it up properly," the angry voice continues. The commander accuses his subordinate of caring only about food and drink, not the mission. Eventually, the tirade turns into direct insults and near threats. "The guys are running around, you fucking piece of shit. We can't even look, help, or support them. Get moving. Fuck! How much more time do you need?" According to the Russian officer himself, the delay has already cost lives. "The guys are dying and we can't even help. Fuck," he says. Kiev Post says that intercept once again highlights the disorganization, poor command structure, and collapsing morale within the Russian military. The absence of clear orders, lack of coordination, and sheer panic are leading to chaos on the battlefield and loss of personnel. The interception confirms the serious problems in the Russian army. Shortages of armored vehicles and the persistent, uncrewed aerial vehicle threat result in significant delays to the evacuation of wounded Russian soldiers. This almost certainly increases the likelihood of more serious injuries and higher rates of mortality for those who are eventually evacuated through the medical system. An unwillingness to decentralize decision-making authority and a failure to communicate accurate information are the most consequential weaknesses at the state level that have contributed to the Russian military's subpar performance to date in the war with Ukraine. Major Anna Dzunza, head of the communications department of the 128th Brigade, says that on April the 16th, the Russian troops attacked the Kharkiv direction with a large column, but were defeated. She said this on the Espresso TV channel. The 128th Brigade has been in the Zaporizhia sector for quite some time, namely in Kharkiv. Previously, the Russian forces used the tactics of small assault groups using buggies, motorcycles and armoured vehicles to transport infantry. However, recently they decided to act differently, noted Dzunza. According to the head of the communications department of the 128th Brigade, the Russian troops decided to attack in a large group, a column that included tanks and other equipment. Our guys worked very hard and did not let the enemy through. Our reconnaissance men, UAV operators, artillerymen and, of course, infantry did a great job. The Russians suffered significant losses in both manpower and equipment, emphasized Dzunza. Recently, Ukrainian defense forces fought off a massive assault by the Russian army in Zaporizhia. The invaders used more than 40 armoured vehicles. The Southern Defense Forces of Ukraine stated that the assault commenced on April the 16th. Russian troops deployed over 300 personnel, 40 pieces of equipment and 3 tanks. The invaders tried to advance in the area near Pyatikatki, Stepov, Lobkov, Tokmachka and Mali Shcherbaki. Since the attack was detected by intelligence in advance, it was attacked by drones and artillery. The first armoured combat vehicles that the defence forces detected and destroyed were located 8 kilometres from the front line. The battle lasted approximately 2.5 hours in total. The Ukrainian defence forces managed to destroy 29 armoured vehicles, about 10 buggies, 3 tanks and 140 Russian soldiers. They were part of the 58th Combined Arms Army of the Southern Military District of the Russian Federation. This is not the first massive assault by the invaders in the Zaporizhia sector, as they tried to attack in this way on April the 13th. The military reported that they had been preparing these assaults for several months. According to intelligence, the Russian army has concentrated several more such assault groups. Therefore, it is possible that it will try to organize more assault operations. In early April, soldiers from the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine and the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade drove the Russian invaders out of the village of Shcherbaki in the Zaporizhia sector.